Hi, my name is Trisha Hobbs and I'm a chiropractor in the south of England. I am going to speak to you today about the energy codes, a book written by Dr. Sue Morter, and try to explain a bit more about it to see if you'd be interested in coming to join a book club that I'm starting very soon. Right, what is the energy codes and why are they so important? Well, and what can they do for us? That's probably the most important thing. So they can actually help us to heal. They can actually change us from states of frustration, confusion, disease and fatigue, and flip our lives into feeling that we're living in a state of joy and wellness and clarity, and we can actually change how we think about the whole world. And when we do that, it changes everything for us, and it changes our physical life as well. I think that's really important. It stops us from feeling like a victim, and it can make us feel more like a creator. Instead of just sort of surviving in life, we can actually start to thrive, and we can actually start to contribute to the world in a different way. Instead of feeling the world owes us something, or that everything we do is not good enough, we can feel that what we are doing is making an impact, and it's coming from the heart and soul of us. And if it comes from there, we're really connecting to who we truly are, and it has so much more power. It's so much more fulfilling than living a life trying to fit in, trying to do our best, which I think we all do. But even when we feel we've achieved what we set ourselves out to, a goal for ourselves, it doesn't always feel very fulfilling, because if it wasn't a goal that was really in tune and with our alignment of our person and our soul, it doesn't actually connect with us in any deep way. So it is a way of living. This book does describe a completely different way of living, and it's a much more expanded and joyful and fun and healthy way of living, and I think it's got a lot to offer us. So that's why I think the book's so important. The book was based on a true story. It's a true story of something that happened to Dr. Sue. She was working as a chiropractor in America, and to anybody looking at her life from the outside, they would have thought perhaps that she had it pretty well made. She was very successful, she was very abundant, and she worked very hard. And but on the inside, she felt pretty hollow. She felt she was lacking in fulfillment, lacking in love, lacking in joy, and just not even connecting to her true self, even though she was trying so very hard. So one night, I think she just said to herself, or said to God, she said, I'm not getting this right, and she let go of trying to do it her way, trying to live her life her way, and said, well, show me, is there another way to do this? And it wasn't long after that she had a great and sudden awakening experience. That was in the year 2000. It might be just as interesting to show you this picture, because it's an image that Dr. Sue has made, and it shows how she perceives this event to have happened and what she felt like when it did. So she felt like she was up here. She was a radiant light, completely peaceful, eternal, powerful and complete. And this was her, like the divinity of her, and it was in connection with Source and the God stuff, and this is where she felt complete and whole. And she could see that there was a crystalline ray of light coming all the way down to her body, which was standing on the earth, which to her felt like thousands of miles away. And she recognised that all this space was filled with love, the whole of the universe was filled with love. And this was what love was trying to come down into her and make her whole, make her happy, connect with her, so that she would feel how she felt up here in her body. when she knew she wasn't feeling like this when she was down here. And she realised that this was all based on energy. Energy, energy, energy. And the system that she had to expand and strengthen in order to accept more energy and more love energy was based on her chakras and based on an understanding that wasn't very prevalent and not really accepted. But she had been steeped in energy medicine. She'd grown up in a household where that was part of the conversation every day. So she was one of the best people possibly that could have had this experience, because she used it, she unpacked it, she really went into it. She has spent many years in trying to understand how to allow this to happen, to allow the divinity of who we are to fall into us in our body, and in order to shape our life and embellish our life and make it so much more wonderful and fulfilling. So that's basically where the energy codes has come from, because it's how Dr. Sue realised she can get that to happen, and how we can all get that to happen in a step-by-step process. So the energy codes is divided into 3 parts. The first part is a new way of seeing, and it is actually seeing the world like this and having that vision that we can expand our body to make it more robust, to accept more of this high vibrational love. Now, the body is, and the circuit, the energy system in our body is not something we're very familiar with. But if you think of it like an electrical system, it works on circuits, and we have to have enough and strong enough and robust enough circuits to allow this high intensity vibration to come down into us. And then we have, those circuits have got to be as clear of interference as possible, so that our energy will flow and flow and flow, and the more it flows, the more it will generate a stronger current, and we will get a stronger experience of love in our life, and that will colour everything else, and it will bring us into health as a byproduct of that. Actually, it means, because everything in our energy system is like a blueprint for our physical system. So if we get it right in the energy system, it heals our body just because that's the way it works. So it's really a very different way of looking at the world, and that's why it's why I think it's worth having a book club to unpack this book, because if we can understand it and if we can get it right, it can be one of the most profound things that we could ever do. In fact, Dr. Sue says it's the most important work we could possibly do on this earth, which is a pretty strong claim. I read a book a long time ago, a little while ago, by Anita Moorjani. That's not the one. This one, Loving to Be Me, Dying to Be Me, it's called. And I was reminded of the story that Anita explained, and it sort of mirrors and echoes Dr. Sue's story too, because Anita had a different experience to Dr. Sue, but she was living a life trying to please everybody in her life and trying to live a lifestyle that would keep her healthy and well. Well, despite her best efforts, and possibly because she was compromising herself so much and not actually living from the person that and the place was her true self, she became very ill. She battled through and battled through, but one day, she was really, really poorly. She was slipping into what people expected to be her final coma. And when she did, she found herself in this place she recognised as heaven. And she has a story to tell similar to Dr. Sue, so I just wanted to read it as well, because she explains the experience revealed to her that we choose to incarnate into a physical body in order to express love, passion and the full range of other human emotions. Dr. Sue would say we come here to have the full keyboard experience from the highs to the lows. She understood, this is Anita, she understood that the illusion of separation feeling that we are alone in this life is created because we identify too strongly with what's going on in the outside world and make it feel that that's what's important to us, when in fact what's important to us is to connect to our soulful self, that feeling of connection to the deepest part of who we are. She was in complete accord with Dr. Sue when she says that everything that seemingly happens externally is occurring to trigger something within us, to expand us and to take us back to recognising who we truly are. So she too exalts the experience that we can actually live as magnificent beings at this time in our life, like right now. Treat this life as important and recognise it's not a dress rehearsal, that the better we can live this life, the more fulfilled we will be, and the more we will bring the gifts that we have that are unique to us. We will express them into the world and we will share them. We will live fearlessly in doing that, because sometimes it doesn't feel like the world would accept what we have to say. But it's important for us to be sharing what we have come here with, and to develop a community based on who we all truly are, which would actually be love. So, you know, that is a very different paradigm to the way we feel most of the time. I think this book is really important, and it's not hard, but it's very different. And that's why I'm doing the book club, because we're going to read a chapter, and I'm going to be able to support you in the practices of each chapter. Most of the chapters are within the centre part of the book, which is the actual programme of the book, include breath work. I mean, that's a beautiful thing as well, but it's just breath work through the body. It does also include the option to do yoga and other lifestyle options, which will enhance our development of the circuits in our body. So it's a really interesting thing, because the more you work at it, the stronger you are. If you stop working at it, you don't lose the strength exactly, and when you come back to it, you build on what you've done before. So it's a very beautiful system. It's a lovely and gentle method of building up our strength and our clarity. It sort of helps with clarity. It all kind of happens at once, and it's not jarring, and it's really controlled in a very helpful and safe way. Dr. Sue is very wise, and she understands that, you know, these energies are powerful, and we need to always stay grounded, and that definitely we learn to stay grounded to start with, and that the grounding in us is the essence of success in this work. So it's really different. I might have said that before. I think it would be really helpful to you to experience it and to see if it can make a difference in your own life and allow you to live a more fulfilled feeling of life, connected to the source of who you truly are. So I would recommend you come to the book club, because it's starting soon and you don't want to miss that, because it doesn't happen every day, and I think this is a really important book. So please come, the details are below, and I'd love to see you there.